people from all over this city are telling you it's your obligation. How can you sit there and play to the money interests in this city? There are people dying out there. You can sit up there and ignore the work of this city. We have solicited the help of church people, neighborhood people, business people, and you can sit up there and condemn people to live in the streets of this city. How can you do that?
Councilman Mano. Councilman Mento.
Now, let me tell you what you've done tonight. Let me tell you what you're doing tonight.
What are you doing?
There are those of us who agree. There are those of us who agree with your situation. We did join you, brother. We did join you, brother, and I don't want to hear that bullshit rap. Now let me tell you. Let me tell you, you got TVs all over doing what you're showing what you're doing. It's going to be on 11 o'clock. It's going to be on 12 o'clock. It's going to be on... And if you think... We need your help, and we need it bad. I understand that, brother. I understand that. If you think, however, that what you're doing now is going to make it easier to do it here, you're awfully wrong.
From Columbus City Council, this is GTC3. We will be recessing until 9 o'clock when we will return with more City Columbus meeting. Thank you.
The applicant is Friends of the Homeless, Inc., Attorney Roy Lowenstein. Proposed use of open shelter for the homeless. I have a number of speaker slips. I already got this. Mr. Kipp, would you give us a brief description of the site and the area?
Yes, this is the building in question. Request is for a 60-bed open shelter. This is looking side of the building. There's electrical substation to the rear. From across the street, the building, you can see downtown in the background. It's on Vine Street. This is basically looking at some of the other uses in the immediate neighborhood. Again, the structure in question. From across the street. Looking back up, North Market is in this direction, beyond Front Street. This is a manufacturing area. Staff will not oppose this request.
Are there any questions of staff? I have 6 speaker slips in favor, 5 speaker slips in opposition. I would select 3 proponents and 3 opponents to speak unless council wishes to hear more. I seriously doubt that any member of this council has not been informed of the site. I would hope that everyone has been up to tour the area to go around that location, that site. I have. I think everyone is aware of the proponents' statements on why it should be. I think everyone's aware of the opponents on why it should not be. However, if council wishes to take a vote or do whatever in waiving our speaker's rules to prevent more than 3, I'll entertain a motion at this time. If not, I'll take the 3 speakers in favor and 3 in opposition.
Let's take 3 and 3 members.
All right. First of all, we'll take the proponents. And I believe they have requested that the 3 speakers speak in the following order. First, Roy Lowenstein. Would you give us your name and address, please?
I'm Roy Lowenstein, 231 East Lincoln Avenue, Columbus, Ohio. President Portman, members of council. Initially, I need to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, as we are all distressed because to date, City Council has not approved the location of even one permanent shelter open to everyone. We feel strongly that city government has a clear responsibility at least to shelter the homeless. It's okay for you to act through Friends of the Homeless, but keep in mind this is no ordinary private zoning variance. You have a responsibility to handle a public issue, and we've done the best we can to find you a site. The issue is squarely before you tonight whether you want a second shelter open by midwinter to meet the obvious need. Our temporary shelter you approved on East Main Street filled to capacity almost immediately. I regret having to point out that approval of the Vine Street shelter may very well turn out to be a life or death matter for some homeless people this winter. I'm sure our opponents will tell you they support shelters too, just not near them. How many times have you heard opponents make that pitch when the issue is helping those who are in need? Rationalizations do not shelter the homeless. The site was selected for 4 reasons. First, Metropolitan Human Service Commission's plan is for 4 or 5 dispersed shelters. Neighborhood groups all over town are joining the consensus for this idea, and one of the other speakers will address this more clearly. Number 2, it's logical for the near north side to have one of these shelters. Third, we looked for a site meeting criteria of the Association of Near North Side Businesses, that is, to avoid residential districts and to avoid revitalization areas. The building is excellent for a shelter. This is the 4th reason. It's affordable, and we found an owner who was willing to sell to us. Now, if you look at a map of the near north side, okay, we're limited in what we've been looking at to the area I've drawn in red, which is between the central business district here and south of the residential neighborhoods north of 670. And we went around and around through these areas numerous times, and this is simply the best building that we've been able to find, and the only one that we can afford. Okay, I'll just take another second if you can. Major institutions or businesses in the area, if they have veto power over location of a shelter near them, how are we to have a near north side shelter? Now, the North Market and others are concerned about daytime transient people. So are we, as is evident in a letter we recently distributed to area merchants. The problem is solvable. We will even explore the feasibility of a day drop-in center elsewhere in the city. But North Market folks also have to